to Reality Queens. I'm Rachel Reilly Villegas, joining you from Birmingham, Alabama, alongside of my two favorite people in the whole world.
Oh, Rachel, that's so nice. I'm Jenn Hoffman. I am one of the other reality queens. I'm joining you from New York City. I do not know why we're reporting our locations this time. Maybe to let people know why we're not in LA live covering this, since Rachel and I both formerly were of LA and would be doing that there. Bobby, where are you hitting us live from?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm Goodsby, Bobby. I was trying to say my tag. I'm Bobby Goodsby. I'm recording live in beautiful Temecula, California, home of the Reality Rally. So if you're ever at the Reality Rally, you know where to find me. Wish we were all hanging out together watching the finale last night, but I'm happy to be here with you both to break it all down.
Yes, 100%. And that was a finale. Wow. First of all, what do we think about a 2-hour Big Brother finale?
Didn't mind it because it was interesting enough. The other episodes that have been 2 hours, I thought could have been an email. But
Right.
this one, I actually was like, I was engaged, I was interested, and I cared. So I was like, all right.
Okay. Bobby?
Yeah, for me, I think that the episode was good because I felt like they put in things that we at least wanted to see. We wanted to get reaction from the people that were voted out pre-jury. We wanted to get a little bit of the thoughts from the jury. Everything I felt was smooth until the very end with that janky scene. And I was like, what the hell are we doing here?
Even the point of that. Yeah, that was so cringe. Even my husband said he felt like it was cringe. But we can get to that later since that was at the very end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
Singing the janky song, why?
I feel like that if they had ended it right before there, it would have been great. But then it ended so awkwardly.
Right.
Yeah.
They had some awkward moments. Like, I think we could do a breakdown of the 10 most awkward Big Brother moments of the Big Brother finale because there were a few. Julie cutting off the house guests after they were talking about politics. That was the most awkward too.
Oh, yeah, one of the most awkward things ever was do you know who's running for president? Telling them, then Julie rushing so quickly to say, and go vote here, so no one could say something wrong or react to the politics or get any reaction in, was so awkward and strange. And like, she looked panic-stricken to make sure nobody reacted or said anything about who was running. Yes, and just to get you to like, go vote, bye.
Yeah. Okay, also, and then
her to be like, "Oh, Joseph, your family is destroyed in Tampa. Our heart goes out to you."
Yeah,
I know they have to mention it, but it just seemed weird. And then it's like, and then Julie's usually good at transitions, but then it was like, and then so.
Yeah, no, it was literally, it was horrible because it was just like, oh, sorry, everyone in Florida is dying and everything's lost. So what's next? Tell me about the rest of the charcuterie board. Like it could have been, it was just.
I think if Joseph didn't look genuinely like he looked upset, sad, exhausted, if he didn't look like that needed to be handled way more gently, like if he came out there even faking it, which I'm not suggesting he should have, it was good to get to see how, the reality of him. I think that like helped bring some gravity to it, but it made it more awkward that you could see this person and his family is clearly struggling, and they mention it, and then it's like, moving on, which I don't know what else they could have done, but it still was awkward.
I do. They literally could have put that part at the end of the episode instead of janky. And I think they could have definitely said, like, they literally said, go vote, go to the Red Cross and donate. So why didn't they say that again? I mean, look, I'm not a producer on Big Brother, but that was...
Rachel, that's a really good idea. They should have said, and Joseph, can you give us an update about this, this, and exited to a, like, respectful thing towards those people.
I kind of expected her to turn to camera and be like, in the wake of everything, you can go to redcross.com to donate and blah, blah, blah. Like, but then she was just like, moving on. And I was like, what? And then, okay. So now moving on for us, if you want to go. No, just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, she had some awkward moments, but since we did just say that, then we can actually say, please do go to the redcross.com to donate, because that is actually something that is still plaguing the Southwest, or the Southeast, I guess, the Southeast and Florida. So,
the jurors, and then like the people, like the people that have been not knowing what's going on, also probably really like, what are you talking about? That they didn't know about the hurricane after hurricane either. So that was another thing. It was just so weird.
It was random.
And also, and like, if anything, they could have done it before like a commercial break. Like, you're going into a commercial break.
I thought that she was doing it before a commercial break. So it was weird that she didn't cut to commercial where it was like, oh, thank you for Red Cross or whatever. Like, it was weird.
It was just a weird segue.
CBS, so,
what I'm guessing is that they didn't think Joseph was going to come. And then once he did show up, they were like, and now we have
known. They paid for his flight, so they would have known for like days.
Because he said he wasn't going to come, and then he came last minute. He said that, so at least they knew for probably like 24 hours, but still, or maybe not. Maybe last second he said, yes, fly me out, and took the last flight because he looked like it. He really did.
Okay, then if he got on a flight at 8 a.m., they knew since 8 a.m.
Yeah, like figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you have that jury segment, you do actually have, or the pre-jury segment, you do actually have the opportunity to cut to commercial. Because there was a lot of talk in the pre-jury segment of Matt and Mackenzie, which was so awkward.
Yeah, which
that was also awkward.
No one really cares about.
Nobody cares about it.
And Matt's like, like all like, and no one wants to see Matt. And Mackenzie's like, please don't ask me about this. Like, A, you're making my chances of winning look worse for me. Why are you doing this to me? And B, like, I don't want to talk to this gentleman or see him ever again. So please stop.
Right. Literally. And she's like, you said minutes ago that you were in a showmance. And she's like, yeah, because I needed to like win jury votes, Julie.
Yeah. And it was just like, it was literally, they knew each other for 10 days out of the 80 days that she was there. Yeah. Like, that's someone, like, I've dated people longer than that and I couldn't tell you anything about them anymore. Like,
and that's the point of Big Brother. It's like the first 10 days feel like a year.
Yeah, like that happened. I'm like, was that even in this season? Even though Mackenzie's still sitting there and so is Matt. So for that to have been brought up, maybe like touched upon, but like they gave Matt a lot more time and then to let them both react. Yeah. I can understand that being a quick question to Mackenzie, but no questions to Chelsea about Cam really and the romance and like what's going to happen. And then no follow up with Aaliyah and Quinn, but so much emphasis on Mackenzie and Matt. I'm like, who's Matt? It was the only interesting part of Matt was Crazy Eyes and Angela.
Yeah, who wrote Julie's questions is the question.
Yes.
Because also, like last year, the whole showmance between Corey and America, who are still together, was not even talked about at the finale, who were both in jury, not even discussed, and then like swept under the rug. And then you're going to bring up Matt and Mackenzie this year? And then like, the Tucker stuff. Was Tucker, did they give Tucker roses to give to Rubina?
The funny shit is everybody online being like, Tucker's always extra.
Yeah.
But like, people are being like, I want some of what he was smoking. Like, what is that guy on? Like,
it was like,
he was
and
so awkward.
Multiple times to go near Rubina, and Rubina at first being excited and relieved, but then starting to be more and more awkward. Like, please stop coming up to me. That was so weird.
Yeah. It was like neither one of them knew what they were allowed to do and like how to react. And it was just a weird, awkward, like they should have prepped both of them. Hey, Tucker, you're going to give her the roses, then go sit back down. Hey, Rubina, you're going to sit here and accept the whatever's going to happen. And then it's okay to be normal or what. I don't know. It was just weird.
He made it sound like he was about to propose. He said, I've been waiting to do this. And I was like, oh my God, a proposal. And then he's like, here's some flowers. And then was like, wow, like rambling about something. And I was like, I'm like, is Tucker high? Like, allegedly. Like,
dude, he was a lot.
Or is he just so like actually high on all the attention and the excitement and like his new career that he just thinks he can kind of do anything and he's the star of the show, so why not like be out of his mind? I don't know. That was interesting too.
When I was watching it, I was like, every reaction he had, and they went to him a ton. I get it. They're eating up the Tucker business, but he was just so awkward and had to stand up and be like, yo, I'm like, Bro, can you
He's
just
a
be
character
normal
now.
for 2 seconds?
He went from being normal Tucker that we love to being this weird caricature
Yes.
of Tucker. A caricature of a character is what he is. And I don't like that. And also, though, I've been watching like some videos, like TikToks and like videos from him, and he's like totally playing up the caricature as well now on the internet. So I'm like, ugh, Tucker, like just be Tucker. We like regular Tucker.
Yeah. And like him, his interaction with Rubina was like watching a couple toddlers trying to meet, like you're trying to have a play date with another toddler. And as a parent, you're trying to introduce the two toddlers and like,
you're like
they just don't know what to do with each other.
Yeah. You're like, don't lick their face, don't knock them down. Yeah, it was a little bit like that. That is a very good example.
I was just like, are we not have like, then she's like 35 years old. Do we not have adults on this show that can just be normal for 2 seconds? Like,
everything was super weird. But I almost blame Julie too, because then it was like the whole Matt thing and the Angela apologized. And then when Angela was like, not really, that she didn't care.
That was so awkward.
Then it was like, well, okay, but can he give you a hug or can I? And she was like, sure. And I was like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Okay. If Angela said, not really, I would have, if I was Matt, I would have just been like, cool, and sat back down. But like, they made it even more awkward. So,
yes.
Just none of it made it. I just don't understand. There was a very awkward, like, it was almost like none of them were prepared for it. Did they like give them champagne in their dressing rooms all day long? Because like that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
yeah. And then also, can we talk about they talk about the charcuterie board, and I'm just like, did they not give? And then they show Angela on screen, and she's just like, shit. I don't know if you guys caught that. Like, they show barely anything, and they're just show like the charcuterie, and she's like, shit. And then she starts smiling because she sees herself. It was like, no one was prepared for any of this. And then also, I'm blanking on the girl's name who ate her charcuterie board. What's her name again? Brooklyn, thank you. Brooklyn trying to explain the scene. Yeah, when she was trying to explain the scene, she's like, a couple of my friends were also the one. Like, where are we going with this? Like, is there something?
It's Julie again. I am sorry, Julie, Julie, the Chen bot has usually been excellent at stuff like this, but she was like, there was something stolen, which I knew we were going to know was a charcuterie board, but to put it like that, then make it like it was she was in a police interview giving her defense and her evidence of other people was
you know what happened? Because I've been in these situations. Someone behind the scenes, some story producer was like, okay, this is gonna be so funny. You're gonna introduce it like this. You're gonna say like, okay, like, ooh, something's stolen, but you're gonna tease it. You're just gonna tease it until we reveal the big reveal is the clip. And then we're gonna get Angela's reaction. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah. And then like it didn't turn out at all amazing. But like, if that's what they want her to do, they need to give her like scripted lines to say.
Yeah, because they had it set up that way because they had the clip queued up. So either they just kind of told Brooklyn and didn't prepare her for how to set it up, or they did try to tell her what to say and Brooklyn just was weird about. I don't know. That was so weird too.
It was so strange.
Weird how she delivered whatever they told her to say. It was weird how she delivered it.
Yeah,
and I will give it to him. The scene was actually a funny scene to show. Like the scene was great. Yeah. Like yes, it was dramatic. It was Angela being Angela. It was a funny, non-confrontational moment that you can throw in there, and it's like resolved. I think the only reason Angela probably didn't blow up at the end of the clip, besides, the fact that she did that, like actually getting mad at Brooklyn because we saw all season she was pissed off about the meats and cheeses, is because Brooklyn said, I'm going to send you a meat and cheese board, which blew my mind too, because behind the scenes, Brooklyn's been saying, screw her. Like, I don't care what she thinks. Like, she's the worst and all this stuff. And then she goes on the show, she's like, I'm going to send you the nicest meat and cheese board. And it's like,
I think that Angela watched the jury who had never seen it because they hadn't seen the clip and how it played out laugh and like be dying laughing in a way that really wasn't even at Angela. Like there was so much entertainment and enjoyment that Angela was like, ooh, like this is entertaining, because Angela knows she's there to be entertainment. So I think like if Angela had been made to look really bad, and if the jury didn't react in a way that they genuinely were hysterically laughing at the way that that clip played out, like seeing it the first time, then I think it would have gotten much worse. But Angela was like, ooh, I got more attention and an apology, so good, yay. Like,
I think so too. I agree. I think she thought it was funny. So let's just talk about, I mean, that was awkward, but let's talk about the awkward jury roundtable. Yes. I have to say, look, first of all, Taylor is beautiful. She did a great job. I love that she's up there, but I really felt like she called out Angela like a little bit too much. And I thought it made for Angela to become more reserved. And I wondered, because it was weird, and you know what, this is editing, and that's the problem. But Angela seemed like she was pro Mackenzie, and then she voted for Chelsea. So, like, I kind of want to know, where did that change? You know what I mean?
So, two things. One is that it was the first time that Taylor made a comment to Angela. I understand, like, I've been interviewing people and you kind of have to take them to task when they say something and be like, now really? Like, but then when she was like, you know, said that it's not all about you, Angela, the second comment, I was like, okay, relax a little bit with Taylor.
Yeah.
But I think it was a fake out because they knew it was going to be such a landslide of a Chelsea win, and they knew what the jurors were talking about, that they had to only show the pro possibility of Mackenzie side of it, or else there'd be no show. Like, we knew Chelsea was going to have a better speech. Everybody knew that Mackenzie taking Chelsea was so risky and, like, going to be dumb if she didn't take Cam. People knew that Chelsea had better relationships. Mackenzie had none. People knew that Chelsea was going to, like, be able to, like, so I think they had to make the jury, like, cut out whatever parts that people said Chelsea was going to win and give us a little bit of a fake out so they would have a finale that had any suspense.
I mean, possibly. And I want to know, like, what happened in the parts they don't show, because those roundtables do last for a long time. So they only edit that down to, what, 5 minutes? So, like, I remember being there for, like, a few hours. Like, I don't know how long, but some jury roundtables I've heard from Dr. Will have gone, like, 6, 7, 8 hours. Like, hours.
Yeah.
Why?
Like, plural. So, I don't know. I'm guessing, like, they have a lot to talk about. So I feel like, I wonder, like, what we don't see and, like, what is, like, I kind of just want to know the rest. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we all knew Chelsea was the better player, but, like, Mackenzie's reads must have been so off. Like, she really thought she was going to win. Like,
totally.
she really, like, when she realized she wasn't going to win, her everything changed.
So, like, question for you, Rachel, just real quick to go back. When you go to jury, you're not allowed to talk about who you're thinking about winning to the cast members in the jury house, correct? Like, you can only talk at the jury round table.
Right. So, like, this is what they, you know, separate us. Not really. Like, you are separated. But then they say, if you're talking, if let's say, like, me and, I don't know, Brittany are doing a workout video and we're just doing the workout video, nobody's going to care. Like, they're not going to bother us. But if we're, like, doing the workout video and I'm like, hey, I think Hayden is going to be the better person to vote for. Hey, don't you hate Lane? Then they're going to be like, hey, you can't talk about Big Brother stuff. So then they'll separate us. So they really try to, like, keep it where you're not talking about the game. But like, for example, every week someone comes with a tape. So every week when someone comes with a tape, they have us talk for that whole day about the game. So you do get, every time when someone's there, you get, like, a few hours to talk about the game, the moves people are making, what's happening. You have, like, interviews that you do with story producers. Like, literally, someone's coming in there and they're talking to you and asking you questions, and then you all get together and talk. So you're talking about the game throughout this whole time. You're just being kind of monitored, I guess. Right. Because they want it on camera, right? So
yeah, of course.
I don't know. Like, I don't know that the jury roundtable really matters that much.
Yeah.
But I think it does make a difference. So I don't think I think it's important. Like, I don't know that it really is like a make or break, but I think it does make a difference.
I think normally it would, but I feel like in this one, it was so clear, especially from everybody coming back, being like, Chelsea's running the game, Chelsea's running the game, that they knew. So in this instance, I feel like it was purely a tool, like I said, of like a fake out and to create suspense, where usually there's something to debate. And in this one, they were like, okay, Mackenzie's a comp piece, but even the stuff that she won became property of Chelsea, so it doesn't matter. And I don't really think, maybe one person got swayed or two, maybe there was somebody, but like she was such, Chelsea was just going to win so clearly that I don't, and Cam wasn't, so they didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't a, the jury didn't matter. Round table, it didn't matter as much.
Well, I think so I really feel like if Mackenzie and Cam would have been at the end, or if it would have been like Rubina and Cam, then a jury roundtable would be like really important. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, like your season, when you won, that was important. You made a risky decision taking Portia, and there was reason that there was deep feelings about you and Portia. It's a great example of like people needing to talk out, like who did better, who made them feel better. Does this person deserve to win? Why didn't they take this like not taking Adam was a choice. Like, there's something to talk about. Exactly. If Rubina and Cam had been left, there would have been a lot to talk about. If it had been Rubina versus maybe Mackenzie, there would have been a lot to talk about. But when you knew the final three was Cam wasn't going to win versus either of them. And then once you realize Chelsea's pulling all of Mackenzie's strings, like what, maybe somebody could have said something like, but I don't know.
Do you think that Chelsea would have taken Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's smart, 100%. And she would have known that Mackenzie could have been tougher to beat, and that she would have needed to keep reminding them the way she did in a very, without being, it's funny, Chelsea still remained controlled in a way of not totally throwing Mackenzie under the bus. She's so good with her words that she continued to like let them know that she was like, she was like, oh, my sister here, that whatever, you know, but she was like, telling people she was making moves for her and running the games. And that's why people online are not understanding the beautiful thing. Why Leah said, I'm voting for the most beautiful player. People were like, oh, that was a diss to Mackenzie saying she's not as beautiful. It's because Chelsea kept referring to her game as a diamond and beautiful. So Leah was referencing that as like a nod to that, but without saying it. So I just want to say that to the people at home that aren't comprehending that. That's the most likely scenario of why Leah used the word beautiful player. It was to mirror the 2 to 3 times that Chelsea called her game beautiful without saying I'm voting for Chelsea. Everyone thought it was
that she was talking about like masterful, beautiful game.
But Chelsea said my game was like I see it like a diamond. It was a beautiful example of how to bring together strategy and social ends, comps, and this. And she said the word diamond and beautiful at least twice, possibly 3 times. So Leah, that was like without saying who she was voting for, like a nod to it. But everyone was like, oh my God, she's so mad at Mackenzie that she's like, you know, trying to say that she's the least beautiful player, trying to make it about a looks thing. And I was like, no, guys, Chelsea just called her game beautiful 3 times. That was a clever hint, you know?
I agree.
It's Jonny Fairplay, reality TV icon, Survivor Hall of Famer. And I'm talking today about Work Money. Work Money is a non-profit organization that focuses on lowering costs and raising incomes for all Americans to make American life more affordable and American families more economically secure. They provide products, services, perks, benefits, tips, and tools to help members improve their financial lives. It's time to level up and make more money in this economy. We're talking getting rich. Now, this sweepstakes is giving away $50,000. You can use this to pay your rent, your mortgage. Imagine what you can do with all the money that you'll save. Now, this is put on by Work Money, and this site has all these sick benefits, and it's free. Go sign up right now and get more rich. Now, listen, you can change your life. Now, what would you do if you didn't have to pay your rent or mortgage for a year? Listen, sign up right now for free. A link is available right here in the show notes. Check them out. Personally, I'd get more pinball machines. I'm Jonny Fairplay. I wouldn't lie about that. It's work money. More money.
No, so I was just going to say, I feel like a lot of them gave away who they were voting for in this speech, which we always do. But I like when we do like what Rubina did, where it was like, I'm voting for someone taller. It's like, oh, they're both taller than you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and Chemo, I'm voting for one of you. Yeah. I'm voting for one of you. That was so funny.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that did throw it off a little bit is when Chelsea said that she withheld information but didn't directly lie or manipulate whatever. Rubina's face was like, liar, because she now technically there's a few different times that that Chelsea did basically lie, but sometimes lying by omission or without technicality. Like when the thing with Rubina, she never said Mackenzie's name as like the comp person. She never, you know what I mean? Like that was the only indication that maybe it wouldn't be a landslide slam dunk for Chelsea was when Chelsea did not take the jury said, we want to see if Chelsea takes full accountability for taking over the game. And then when she took accountability of it, but kind of held back on just how diabolical she was, seeing Rubina, they kept cutting to Rubina being like annoyed face with it. And they cut to, I think, Chemo making a little bit of an annoyed face with it. That I was like, oh, maybe the two of them actually won't, despite the fact that they don't like Mackenzie, maybe this will be annoying enough where it won't be a landslide and Mackenzie will get some votes because Chelsea's not giving them what they said they wanted, which was total honesty, but it still worked. They still just could not
get work. And I felt, okay, I have another question. Okay, so when Cam left, he basically said Mackenzie and Chelsea had been working together the whole second half and this, that, and the other thing. But then Chelsea led us to believe that she was just using Mackenzie. So did Cam think that they were working together because the two girls were actually working together and Chelsea was just saying that she was using Mackenzie? Because I do kind of feel like a little bit that Mackenzie even said, like, I made my own decisions, and she did. The one point where Mackenzie did not, I think Chelsea got in her ear about Rubina and Chelsea got in her ear about Leah. But a lot of the other decisions, Mackenzie was probably going to eventually make those decisions.
I think she also manipulated her into thinking that they were like best friends and so close when Chelsea, in diary rooms was like laughing like, oh my God, that is not good for your gameplay, but it is for mine. So
do you think that she was doing that for TV, or do you think she genuinely I feel like Chelsea genuinely, watching them on live feeds and stuff, she seems like she genuinely likes her. I feel like I felt that friendship.
Here's the problem. I don't think that you have to be, so some people are the evil archetype characters where they're totally manipulating somebody and pretending to be their friend and don't like them. I think that Chelsea did like Mackenzie and did like their friendship, but at 100% of the time, the game was still more important than the friendship. And sometimes it can be difficult to make a person three-dimensional enough to understand that, you can be liking somebody, but being inside the context of this game, sorry, girl, even though you are my girl and I hope we stay friends, I am going to screw you over. I am definitely not taking you. I'm going to take Cam to the end. And to wrap it back around to your initial thing about what you said about Cam saying they were working together, Cam, when he got to ask his jury question, sent an alley-oop to Chelsea, and that was on purpose.
I noticed that. Yeah, I was like, he's definitely set her up as if was Chelsea in his ear too, or is he just
yes, no, it was a clear, Cam was a little chill, doesn't always know exactly what he's going to say, or be he knew what he was going to say. He knew the exact thing. He knew who it was for. So I think that him coming out there and being oh, they were working together. I think he and Chelsea had scenarios type talk or something. And basically it was like, look, if it's me versus Mackenzie, like, and he did say Cam came out there and said she's my A number one. He did say that. And I think that they had some sort of thing with each other. Like if it ends up you being on the couch, that like, I will throw you questions to make you look good. I just think that because Chelsea knew that Cam wouldn't really win, it didn't matter if she told him that, but it mattered very much that she had Cam going out there saying that she was an A number one, saying that she was working with Mackenzie, but in a way that left it ambiguous enough for Chelsea to explain how. And then just that last question was, Cam does not think like that. That was like a this is the question Chelsea wants me to ask so she can give the final answer that just cinches it.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, the fact is Mackenzie, like, is either the luckiest person or, like, she just, like, you know, was really good at finishing these competitions, but she was not good at being aware of everything. Like, she didn't have a good read on what actually was happening, right? Like, she didn't know that she wasn't going to beat Chelsea, and she didn't know that, like, Leah was a bad mate, like a bad move, and Rubina was a bad move. So it's like, it feels like she just, maybe that's because she's young, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a meme that just says, because Mackenzie a few times it was like, oh, I'm aware during the show was saying stuff when she completely wasn't. So there's like an I'm aware meme, and it's just that she just wasn't aware. I don't think she's a dumb person. I just think she's young, naive, and not necessarily aware of like certain social dynamics or things that are going on around her that are so obvious. And even Rubina came to her and laid out something that should be pretty obvious, or that you should investigate, but also is plausibly very true. And then she dismisses Rubina and then goes and so the person who she should be sussing out to see if it's true instead tells on her and says, oh, I laughed at it. You're like, oh, she's very unaware. Genuinely.
And then I felt, so Chelsea almost won. And then I felt a lot of Chelsea's mood change between the Mackenzie win and them sitting on the couch. It was almost like Chelsea thought Mackenzie was going to get rid of her. Did you pick up on that at all?
I did pick up on me wondering what was going on with Chelsea, but I'm not sure if it was at that moment. I do not think that Chelsea was sure that Mackenzie was going to take her.
Yeah, I didn't think she was sure either.
Yeah, but I do remember thinking at one point that like Chelsea looked like it was almost like more like an exhaustion type thing of like looked a little like defeated-ish, which is weird because I was like, she's on her way to a win. And I don't remember if it's the exact time you're talking about, but like there was a cut where she just kind of like was more slumped over and like.
Yeah, like whenever she lost. When she lost and she was sitting on that block, she looked like she didn't know that she was going to go to final two. Like,
I felt like for sure she thought. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that she would take Cam. I was going to say, which makes me think that Chelsea would have 100% taken Cam.
Oh, because 100% would have taken Cam.
She must have thought it's way smarter for Mackenzie to take Cam than me.
Of course. And because Chelsea was playing the game with like telling Mackenzie, oh, we're going to go to the final two together. I'm going to take you. And she was planning on taking Cam the whole time. Chelsea was just preparing herself for that. You know, like for the same scenario for Mackenzie to have been aware enough to realize that that would have been the move. So I think that's what Chelsea looked like. Oh God, like I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's really, I don't know. I think it's like really crazy how that ending like went with the very, very close because she picked B.
This will go down as one of the most awkward finales in history because of all the things we said in the beginning, but then also because of how awkward it was for Mackenzie to have reality revealed to her.
Yeah, that was really, I could tell on her face how hard that was for her.
Yeah.
And I also noticed like when America's Favorite was being announced, that Mackenzie, I think, might have thought she was like right there for America's Favorite as well.
I noticed that too.
Yeah. And then she might have gotten doubly hit down. Which, by the way, now that Mackenzie didn't win, I think like in my head, I'm like, well, why didn't we vote for her for America's Favorite? Like, I know we love Tucker, but like, Mackenzie did play the best game besides Chelsea, right? So
I think it's because you were just watching her and look, people picked the most entertaining people by far. They picked Tucker, they picked Angela, and they picked Quinn, which that's who I thought also. And those, remember when you guys were asking me who I'd vote for? I said it's between the three of those people, and I said I think everyone's going to vote for Tucker, so I'd probably go Angela or Quinn. And I can see why people would want those people because they were giving great commentary, and like Angela and Tucker were all over the place, but Quinn was like a really good narrator, really good at recapping what was happening, being very self-deprecating, like, oh my God, I'm like the Big Brother fan and I'm the worst. Like he was putting himself down. He was joking. He was like, just a character there. And Mackenzie started to seem even more and more cardboard and one-dimensional and just a comp winner who got played. It just got like kind of sad almost. Like
Mackenzie, it was sad. And then got played by Julie with asking about Matt.
Oh.
Hey, you're gonna lose the game, and by the way, you're not gonna win America's Favorite. But look, you've got Matt.
Yeah. I think if she had been so ditzy at that and being manipulated by Chelsea, and she was so ditzy, it could have been an America's Favorite. Seeing somebody just be a comp beast with like no brain. But it was her cockiness. Like she said, like during the live feeds, she was talking about how she's not going to follow Angela and that she has a girl doing her social media. There was like an arrogance to Mackenzie that maybe is like a youthful arrogance, which is also what led her to bring Chelsea to, the final two with her, that I think prevented her from being an America's Favorite, because you were just watching somebody be unaware and a little bit arrogant. And I think people want a person like that to succeed eventually, but to like learn the lessons. Like people are looking back at their arrogance when they were 22 and being like, oh boy, I had to learn, and she's about to learn a lesson.
Yeah, she learned a tough lesson. I feel for her. I definitely feel for her. But she's so beautiful. Yeah. She's so well spoken. She has so much going for her. We're going to see her on The Challenge. We'll see her on like 10 other shows. Like, she'll be fine.
Mackenzie's life's going to be great. Mackenzie is going to do just fine. Like, awkward, but again, like just stunning person, incredible athlete, seems like a genuinely good person, like really took Chelsea to the end because of the friendship, got played a little bit because she's young, but no dummy, just not like versed in the world yet, and maybe hasn't had to deal with a lot of that in her life yet, like not out there in a world of where somebody might, shank you in the real world or on a game. So it's maybe part of growth. Mackenzie has a very bright future and is just fine.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us during this Big Brother 26 season. We will be back next week with more Reality Queens to talk about so many other reality shows like The Golden Bachelorette. And I mean, there's like 100 different things that we still have to cover and talk about, which I'm very excited about. So congratulations to Chelsea. We all felt that this was such a great, well-deserved win. And we will see you guys on Thursday. On Friday, sorry. I am Rachel Reilly Villegas. You can follow me at Rachel E. Reilly Villegas. Jenn?
Jenn Hoffman, Hi on Instagram and TikTok. Jenn Hoffman on Twitter. Thanks.
And I'm at Goodsby Bobby on all social media platforms. I do want to say this real quick. I didn't get to talk because I was dealing with some production issues. I want to say quickly, one, I think that people were swayed when it came to the final speeches. I think Chelsea had one of the best final speeches of all time. I think the way that she presented her gameplay said exactly what the jurors wanted to hear by telling them, hey, listen, I manipulated what I had to do. I had to manipulate the right people. I told Mackenzie to vote out Leah. She shouldn't have done that. This is why. And I felt like that's exactly what everyone always wants to hear. And if you can explain your game and don't just give them the bullshit fake answer of, oh, well, I was just everyone's friend. No, they want to know what you did and how you played the game well. And that I think she articulated to perfection. I think Mackenzie kind of realized at the end, hey, it's probably not working out for me, but at least I'm losing to someone I love. And that was probably one of the best players I could possibly sit next to. I think Also, this is probably one of the best final twos we've ever had in history of the game. So I love that it was two beautiful, amazing, very, very strategic and great game player women up there. I just think that they did a fabulous job. I think Mackenzie kind of blew it. She could have won the game, but I think this is the final two we wanted, so I'm very happy about that. And Chelsea is an amazing winner, easily top 10 winner of all time. I think this season
100%.
as a whole kind of got a little slow towards the end, but during the beginning we had a great season. We saw the veto used a million times, and we have a great winner and great final two, so what more can you ask for? As for all that, thank you guys for this amazing season. It was a privilege podcasting with you guys about Big Brother. I love you two ladies. You guys are amazing. And thank you to everyone who tuned into us each week and supported us. Please continue to support the channel. We love you guys, and you guys do all this, make all this possible. So thank you so much for everything you do.